What's poppin'? We're finally back together.
We're finally reunited. And today's video is highly requested, and it's about how to stay happy in law school. We got some comments saying that compared to other law student vloggers, we seem happier and like we're like living our best life in law school. So we kind of wanted to comment on that and talk about how you can stay happy in yourself in law school.
Exactly, because a lot of people were saying that we make it seem easy, but we wanted to make it known like it's not easy. We're just happy people. All right.
Yeah, sure. We can go. Let's go with that.
It's like we're happy. It's not easy, but if you stay happy, it'll be easier.
Yeah, that's true. So the reason I think I've been happy in law school is because I was very intentional about it. Before I started, I thought a lot about like just the things that make me happy, the things I discovered in college that kind of made me happier, and I kind of used all of that for law school. So it was even little things like making sure my room is decorated. It seems really basic, but I realized in undergrad that like that kind of lives in my spirits when you come back to your room and it's really cozy and things like that. Making sure that like I made good friends and not overextending myself at clubs, things like that. So I think if you know yourself really well, you can kind of think about those things and have that guide you through law school and like help you make your decisions on what to do and what not to do. So I think that was like a huge thing for me.
So was it literally like a set of things that you had in your mind before you even started, like I'm not gonna do anything?
Yeah, there were a lot of things like that. Like I was not gonna join exec boards for clubs because I feel like I weighed the pros and the cons, and I got a lot of leadership experience from that in undergrad and it was great, but I just felt like that's not the experience I wanted in law school, and there's so much to offer, and that's just like one of the things I didn't want to go after, so I decided not to do it. But then I did want to like watch reality TV and like do stuff and like do stuff that I know like makes me happy.
I was just gonna piggyback off that. Make sure you spend time doing things you actually like to do. Because I know that's something like a lot of people feel like they have to sacrifice things that they like to do because of the fact that they're studying all the time. But like even if you spend, let's say like you play the piano, even if you spend 5 minutes playing a keyboard or whatever, like that's 5 minutes of you remaining your authentic self, and I think those little things will make you happier. So like don't eliminate it altogether. Try to find like little windows throughout the day where you're able to do things that make you you.
Yeah. I think another thing for me was that I really wanted to be healthier in law school. I don't know, I like changed my diet a lot. I'll change it even more drastically like later on, and I was working out all the time. I bought like the gym class pass, like make sure I was going to all the classes.
You didn't even go to the classes.
I did go to the classes.
All right, keep going.
Anyway, I just like, I feel like I got more fit in law school, and that helps no matter what setting you're in. Just like making sure you're active is always gonna make you feel better. So I think that helped me too. Helps me right now, like be happier in law school. Yes. What are some of your things? Or I guess, I don't know how to say it. Were you intentional about being happy in law school? No?
I never thought I was gonna be sad, so it wasn't like I was intentional about things, but then I noticed that there were things that I do or continue to do that make me happier, if that makes sense.
Okay, so what are those things then?
I think one of the things that I really was intentional about coming in was like not talking about grades or like scores or like exams, things like that. For example, after an exam, I would literally like go home, or like if I saw a group of people talking about the exam after the test, I would not join in on the conversation because one, it just doesn't make sense. You can't change anything that you already did, and also I think you can't fight the urge to compare yourself. When you're like even if I talk to you, I'm like, oh yeah, I did this way, you did this way, blah, blah, blah. I'm still like, all right, how did someone else do? Now I'm stuck in the mindset where I'm trying to compare myself to everyone in the class and kind of see where you rank up. And I think that that definitely has the power to really, really make you unhappy.
Sam is not lying. In our study group, she's like, don't talk to me after the test. Don't text me about the test. Don't text me about Civ Pro, blah, blah, blah. Like, I did it, it's over. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll not text you about the test.
Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Because I can't make any changes at that point, you know?
Yeah, it makes you freak out.
Yeah. Especially if you have another test.
Do you have any other like tips for staying happy?
Interesting. I think another thing is that it's really, really important to make sure that you make friends that literally understand what you're going through. So I don't know if that by default means that you have to make other friends in law school. People in other programs or like family members or people from college most times won't understand what a law student is going through. So it's really, really important to have friends who understand, like really understand. If that makes sense.
Oh, you're welcome.
Not
you
like,
don't gotta name me.
Not like
welcome.
this one, you know,
you're
other
welcome.
people in a little circle.
You're welcome. I think that helped me too, just like making sure That was something else I was intentional about. I think I was intentional about everything, but I was really intentional about like having someone to study with, to hold you accountable, or even if I don't study with them, having someone to share resources with. Because of everything I heard about law school, it's like it's good to have outlines and people have all these resources floating around. You have to be in the in group to know that kind of stuff. So I wanted someone I could share. It's true though. I wanted someone I could share resources with, and that I could feel like I could trust, because it's such a competitive environment and there's a curve. And sometimes it gets to people's head. So I was like, okay, well, if I can just find someone else that's like me and like isn't gonna let this competition get to their head, and like that likes to build as they climb, then I'll be straight. So luckily I found someone that's not Sam.
Please, you're literally talking about me. I'm lying.
What's your next tip, Sam?
Just don't let the curve get to your head, because you already mentioned that.
Oh yeah, ignorance is bliss, because I didn't know a lot about the crazy curve until I got here. But then once I learned about it, once everybody started talking about it, then I started freaking out about it. But not knowing about it before, I think, was helpful.
Yeah.
But then y'all are already gonna know about it because we've been talking about it.
And we just told you.
So
sorry.
But don't let it get to your head.
It's important to note that there's not a perfect way to do law school, right? And I hate sounding hypocritical, because we are doing it in that way. Be on a journal or law review, you get the firm job. It's like those things that people think about ideally as ways to succeed in law school. It sounds hypocritical.
Well, I think that even though we have done a lot of things we're supposed to do, we also have kind of stepped out the box. Like, you've taken classes like with STERM that are not like your traditional.
Those are my favorite classes.
Yeah, that aren't your traditional law school classes. That's like intersectionality, which isn't like a traditional law school class. We both went abroad. They don't advise us to do
I think YouTube too.
Yeah, YouTube, pro bono scholar program.
Things
I don't
like that.
think, yeah, I don't, even though I guess we have like the job and stuff like that everyone tells you you're supposed to get. I think we've both done a good job at like making our own path kind of within the set path.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is just challenge that. Don't feel like you have to do those things. Question why you even want it, if that makes sense.
Like, is it because people are telling you, because you want to do it?
Exactly. Yeah. Make sure you take every year also as an accomplishment. So like, say after 1L, you decide you don't want to practice law. That's a choice. You either drop out or you don't. But I think that also completing 1L is an accomplishment in itself. And just remember that each step of the way, each semester, each week, however you need to frame it. But I think that that's important, having those small goals and staying happy throughout. Yeah. And remember also that everything is a choice. You have control of your life. Don't feel like law school is this plan, it's taking over my life, I don't know what to do next. You have a choice every step of the way.
How do you think having a choice makes people like feel better? Unless they feel like they're out of control, like they're sad?
Yeah, like it gives you control over your life, right? Like, for example, right now, the next 10 months, right? I would say, not 10, the next 9 months, I would say, is like planned out for me, right? So I go through this semester, graduate, study for the bar, go on bar trip, whatever, and September I start work. But at any point in that timeline, if I feel like I don't want to do it, I'm not going to hesitate to make the choice to cut it off. Having that kind of mindset, I think, gives me control over my life that some people may not have. If they feel like, this is my plan, this is all I can do, you built it for me, and I'm just going to follow it. I don't know. Like, that helps me at least stay happy.
Yeah. That's interesting. I never thought about it like that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing that helped me be happy, this is particularly for 1L, is that I found the subject matter interesting. Like, it didn't feel like a drag to read for class. And even if you don't find it interesting, I think trying to find ways to make it interesting for you can be helpful. So if you're a visual learner, like drawing out a flow chart of like what you're learning, or try to make the cases like interesting to you, like change the names if you need to, or like what's the word, paraphrase it in a way that like is interesting to you, like, and then he did this and that, like whatever language you can.
Boom.
Yeah. I think like that helped really for crim was like so funny to me. Like that class, it shouldn't be, because like criminal law is a very serious subject, but that class is hilarious to me. And I think like just trying to find interest in what these boring cases, a lot of them are boring, but like spicing them up for myself, I think helped me be happier. 1L specifically. 2L my classes were actually more interesting, but yeah.
So I guess my last like observation in hindsight is just to remember that most people are faking it and they are just as clueless as you. So like people are really good at acting like they know what's going on. And also people show you their successes but not their failures. Like I remember I was listening to a podcast, I think on the Modern Law Library. It's like an ABA podcast. And like they were telling us that Justice Sotomayor, is that right?
I think so.
So yeah, Justice Sotomayor didn't get an offer from Paul Weiss after summering there. And I thought that was really interesting because like clearly she did just fine.
Yeah, she's a Supreme Court justice, and none of us, before I listened to the same podcast Sam did, and neither one of us knew that fact before we listened to it. So, you know, she's still doing just fine.
She's doing just fine.
And you're never gonna find out that she got denied to, you know, affirm. So
yeah,
you'll be okay.
You'll be alright.
So I hope this gave some insight on the reason why we seem like we're so much happier in law school than other people. Also keep in mind that we are 3Ls now, and we weren't like this 1L. Even though I think we were pretty happy 1L, and like we did like have a good time sometimes, I think we were much more like in the grind 1L than now. So you're kind of seeing us like later in the stage, but these are some ways that you can be happy in law school too, and that you can encourage your friends to be happy in law school.
So y'all know what time it is.
Quote of the day. Okay, so today's quote comes from,
Y'all know y'all missed these quotes.
I should have this pulled up. Okay. Today's quote comes from Lena Horne, and she says, "It's not the load that breaks you down, but the way you carry it." It's not the load that breaks you down, but the way you carry it. So law school is gonna be a heavy load. Any type of grad school is gonna be a heavy load. But how are you gonna choose to carry it? Are you gonna choose to be happy? Are you gonna choose to let the institution tell you what to do? Are you gonna make the institution work for you?
Exactly. Happiness is a choice.
It's a
always.
choice.
And the family member of the day is Danny Love. Thank you for showing so much love on our videos, for communicating with us, letting us know what's going on, telling us about your friends, all that good stuff. We enjoy when you guys comment, let us know about your life as well.
And thank you so much for watching. We see you, girl. We see you.
We see each other.
We see each other.
She wanna be so bad. Goodbye. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and watch out for more videos.
Peace.
This semester is gonna be lit.
Last semester of law school.
I got class tomorrow.
Dang. That sucks.
Why are you smiling so much? What's wrong with you? You got something to
I
say?
can't be happy.
You're not happy.
I can't be happy to see you.
You smile like a...
Sam made a whole list, y'all.
I'm cutting that out. So.
Yes, you are. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm editing this one. I listened to it.